Ooh, shiny new metal. My stash is getting low. Getting ready for the winter projects. So you got a sheet of 20, 18. It's either 14 or 16 on that one, and then 11 gauge or 1/8 inch on the bottom. So we're gonna go slice off a 2-foot section off of each one of those, and then the rest of them is gonna get put in the welding trailer for future. Not sure who the winner is. Not that you're gonna win much, but 1,840 pounds, and 64.40 was the cash value of that. A lot of you guys were hitting low. You got down in the 500 and 600 range. There was an engine block in there. And for those interested in the price of the steel, how much it was, the 20 gauge sheet is 40 bucks, the 18 gauge is 50 bucks, the 14 gauge is 70 bucks, and the 11 gauge is 112. Essentially, it kind of just goes by the weight of the metals, how they figure it out. So, good deal to me. A lot better than going to Home Depot and you buy a little 24 by 12 inch sheet of metal. They want 30 bucks for that, and 40 bucks you can get a 4x8. Shall we? Three more times. Now we got a nice little stash in the garage of stuff to work with. So we're working with rusty, crappy stuff. And I get a free pallet. Not that I probably didn't pay for it. But there's like some decent sticks that are on there. It's probably 3.5 by 4.5. I think they're oak. I'm not sure. Free lumber. I gotta make something out of it. Alright, I got all my chores done and I can have a little bit of time to play back on the Cushman some more. So the last thing I think we left off was getting an electric fuel pump in it, and so it does now yard drive again. It's been all kind of rinsed out and washed out at the car wash, and now we are, I think I've said it about 3 times, let's go adjust those valves and get into that kind of stuff and get the engine to kind of run better. Once we get that buttoned up, maybe we could jump on to some of the metal work. I got all my steel here now, so we have no excuses on that part. Without further ado, let's get in it. I'm trying to get the plugs out of it. By hand, it just wasn't happening. It still isn't happening. Here's the camera on it. Here we go, a little bit of a cheater. Not overdo it. Fear of snapping one of them off in the head. Let's see what they look like. A little dirty, but they look good. Funky looking plug, huh? Got a large hole. A little oil fouled. Pull them out and be easier to turn it over too when we're trying to do the we'll probably do a compression test on it after we adjust the valves. The bolts are out of that valve cover. I'm not sure, somebody maybe put some sealer on there. I haven't tried tapping on it yet, but we're gonna try now. If I can get somewhere to get a bite on it. That was hard. Let's see what we got. They don't look too dirty. That's good. It's not all full of crap, I'll get the one off the other side, and we'll figure out where top dead center is on that. And start adjusting, we will. Both valve covers are off. I'm going to try to find top dead center. I'm guessing there's a tab here. I should be able to turn my hand. Let's look for something that looks like it would be a timing mark. That guy's got an extra nub on it. What do you think? That one? Probably just look at the valves and tell. Don't see anything else. I'm gonna go with that. Where was it? It's down there. Coming around again. So one of the two cylinders, we'll put a little marker on there, but one of the two cylinders should, looking in this hole up here, wondering if there's something that we can see. Nope, I don't see anything. Alright, so one of these guys should be free. I would say it's that one, and then the other one, one of them should be pushed down. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see or not. Yeah, only one valve's free on that. So we're gonna go adjust that side first, and then we'll jump over to this one. All right, they're going for 4th thou. And both of them, actually gotta check it on the bottom, don't I? Way loose and way loose. Kind of sounded rickety tickety to me too. Let's see if we can crack them both loose. Trying to work over the top of you guys. Make it so you can see. There we go. Sorry about the bump in the head. You gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, I'm gonna do that. I'll do the inside one closest to you first. See if I can prop you some light too. I'm gonna run that in until I get drag. And snug that up. Sometimes when you tighten the jam nut up, it changes on you. A lot of times it happens. Let's see if we can. Bet you it's too tight. No, that actually feels good. Let's go and try the other one. Generally, stuff like this is usually maintained pretty good. Again, who knows the last time it was, you know. But I usually have a really good maintenance schedule on them. I bet you gotta go a little more. Yeah, just a little more. Let's see if we can go this way with it. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. I think we'll skip it. I don't need to show you. Alright, we got the compression tester in there. I don't know how good the battery is. I know I got to throw it on the charger. That's 50, that's 100. I know the camera doesn't, the reflection of the lens kind of screws it up a little. But let's spin it over, see what we get. I need it's in neutral. I need full throttle. Choke off. Yeah, choke's off. Let's spin her up. We got $1.25 or so. That, yeah, about 120, just under 125. So I would say that that side of the motor is in decent shape. Let's just go check the other one. Make sure we're nice and even. Jammed a screwdriver in the throttle, so that's wide open. Let's see what we got on this side. So we're 105, something like that. Still not bad. He kind of won them within 10% of each other, but you know, is what it is, right? I'm gonna get those plugs cleaned up. We're gonna use those over. They don't look too bad to me. You don't see any wear on the tips or anything. I'll clean them up, throw them back in, and figure out what we got to do for. We'll pop the stripper back open, look into that, and see what we got to do for timing. I went to clean the plugs up. I started looking at them. got two different plugs in it. You can even see just, you know, not even looking at the number, you can see how much the difference is where the electrode is sticking out. One says, I think, at 870. Yeah, 870, and I think this one was at 18YC. RF 18YC. So I'm not sure which one's the correct one, but I'll probably end up ordering a set of plugs for them. Possibly maybe it ran a little funky on one side and they changed the plug, or they just threw in whatever they had, who knows. So I'll do some homework on that, see what it's supposed to have, and for now we're gonna go with what we got though. It's getting that distributor. I they had a bail that went on it. It's not on it. The cover should just come off. Dang. Not like last time. I was able to hit the throttle and get it. There it goes. So we threw new points in there. And I'm gonna go put it at the top dead center. Go check the gap on that one more time. I think it was set at 16. I had a bookmark. One of you guys mailed me a PDF file on this thing. I had it bookmarked, and of course my computer decided to reboot itself. I had it up actually, you know what I mean? Minimized. But maybe I go take a peek at that. I think it was 16 though. So let me get her back on 0 and see what we got. And let's see what we got. I cleaned my feeler gauge for some carb cleaner. That's 16. Actually, just make sure we're at the apex there, you know what I mean? Right there. I think I'm going to open them. I'm going to open up just a hair on that. Of course, I do not have the correct screwdriver on hand. Of course not. And let's see if we can get around you there. So we're going to want to crack this guy. And usually they got a place to kind of push off of, you know what I mean? I don't see it on here though. We are just going to push against the side then a hair. I gotta go. I want looser. I gotta go on that side of things. Just push off the center of it, right? Bend the crap out of the cam. It's a hair over. We're gonna play this game. Tell you what, let's tighten it up, see what it does. See how much it moves when I do that. Too much. Gotta breathe on it now. I do see that this screw has like a eccentric in it. That feels better. See what it does when we tighten it down. Probably right back where we started. Nope. Before I could actually physically see the points opening when I put the gauge in there. So that should do it. I'm going to go and oh, and the way this works, let me do a little explanation. People were kind of wondering. Because it's a 2-cylinder, but it just has one pulse every time the crank goes around, and it's got 2 coils. Show you. Batteries blinking on the camera. So the 2 coils are in series. They're 6-volt coils. There's 12 volts going across it. So you got 6 getting dropped on this one, and it has a jumper lead, 6 going on this one, and that gets the signal from the points on one side of it and power on the other side of it. Fires them, and what it does is it just dumps. So it fires each side every single time, and then the one when it fires when there's nothing happening, when there's no compression, it's just a wasted. They call it, I think it's what they call wasting it. But each side fires every time. When it has no compression, no fuel in it, doesn't do anything anyway, and that's the way it's set up. That way you don't have to have a rotor, distributor cap, all that kind of stuff. So that's the setup on that guy. We get that cover back on there, get the bail on there, and see what we gotta do for timing. Yeah, I got to go back in. I screwed up. The timing's going to be right at 0. You can either do it with a test light and, you know, with it not running and just with points breaking, you want to break right at that opening. But the points are supposed to be 20, not 16. I was right at 4 thou as far as the gap. And then what they say for the advance, to check the advance, is to rev it up, and wherever the mark kind of climbs up to, mark it again, and it should be a roughly about 1 7/8 inch advance. And if it doesn't work, then your advance is not doing what it should be doing. So I think I'm going to go put it on 20, and we'll throw a timing light on it, and we'll see if it will say 0 with the timing light, and does it rev, and, you know, all that kind of happy stuff. All right, disclaimer, we're going in, sending it back at 20. So you loosen this one up, and if you dial this one in, the pin is the pivot point. So you rotate that one, and it rocks the whole assembly. So that's what happens. I don't put my glasses on, I'd be a meathead. And it does have already grease on the cam, and someone's going to ask for that. I'm going to leave the cover off of it. We'll fire it up, because we may have to come back in here if it's got a mechanical advance. Get into that and get that moving. Because generally you can kind of grab the top of it, and you can kind of like rock them, and the weights will walk their way out, but I don't feel that happening. But before I get in it, let's go throw a light on it, see what happens. We're gonna have to let it warm up a little bit, so I figure we'll do a cold start and let it give it about 5 minutes or so. Give me some time to set the light up and stuff while it's doing its thing. But I figure we'll go turn the key, see what we get. Chokes on. Quieter, the valves are a lot quieter. You gotta turn the choke off though. So I'm gonna open the door, hook up my stuff, and we'll let this run for a while. Yeah, turn the idle up. I think I'm going to maybe richen it a little too. I can't remember where that is. It's burning off the oil from when the valve covers were off. Right there. So that one, we're down there. I gotta hit from the other side. I go screw with that a little bit, and that's if we can get it to dial in and stay idling. Let's go with the back on that one. I already bumped up the idle speed a little, and I'm not sure if there's one in here. How much should be the end of the? That's the end of the choke. There's the key. That was the problem. It's just a little too lean. I gotta adjust it once the air cleaner's on anyway, but try to rev it. I'm going to hold you guys, the camera, and rev it at the same time. You guys can see that I am favoring, I know I'm kind of hitting you on an angle, but it's hard to get in here. I'm right about here. I'm about an inch away from where it should be. So I'm going to loosen it up and try to tweak that. But you can see that the advance is doing what it should. It's moving a decent amount. I don't know if it's 1.78, but it is moving.
So we tried dialing this in. We'd kind of keep an eye on it. If this starts moving around on us and the idle speed stays the same, then we know there's a problem with the mechanical advance. You know what I mean? It was stuck a little on the forward side and just not returning all the way. But let me see if we can dial that in and see how it runs. I just loosened. There's two keepers, one on this side, one on the other side. It looks the same way, and I just put a marker on there. Give us an idea of how much we had to move it from there. Hoping it has to come this way a little bit, judging by how close that is to the end of the curb there. Let me dial her in.
I like to watch from over here and see if you can see the best you can. I gotta hit from the other end.
Alright, so what I did is I revved it up and I put a mark like it said where it was going to be. Yeah, saying roughly 1.78. I want to call that's more like 1.5. Right? You agree? I think I'm gonna bump the time it up. I'm gonna try to bring it right about here, and we'll just let it run a little bit. I don't know if I want to take all that apart for that. Not being that much off, but to get it so that because the idea is most of the time you're gonna be under throttle and it's gonna be working on this mark up here. The idle is as long as the idle's okay, and actually idle's better when you go a little further. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put the mark right about here. We'll give it a a quarter inch or so. Favor that side. Button her up and do something else, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm going to run with that for now. I think maybe next we can go and maybe build an air cleaner for it and get the correct drag that it's going to have from the air cleaner. We'll be able to dial the carb in. I think somebody advanced it. Can't say. May have advanced it just to get a little bit better rev out of it. It doesn't seem like it likes to, you hitting the throttle, it's kind of boggy, but that might just be the way these things are. Again, it's kind of meant to be a putter and run all day. So what do you want to do? You want to get on the air cleaner, you think? I can put that cover back on. We'll be happy enough with that. All right, that's what we'll do. And what do we have for an air cleaner? It looks pretty decent, but I know I saw it blown out. Let's see if it's got a part number. That's good. Let's see if I get a new one of those tomorrow. Now, that could be a problem. So, was this part of this, or was this somebody else's attempt at a repair? I think that's what they did. They kind of screwed onto it, or I don't know. What do you think? I'm gonna go look and scrounge through my hoard, try to find something round, and then maybe we'll just buzz all that out of there and drill a new hole in something round and try to give it a couple of tacks. Sound good? Yes, no? All right. Just making sure I had your approval. And I think we should just make our own. We need something roughly about that big around. So we'll just do something like that. It should grow a little bit because of the marker angle. I'll buzz one of those out, and then maybe I'll probably do, I'll take a plasma cutter, I'll cut this out with a plasma cutter, I'll cut this out with a plasma cutter, and maybe hit it with a sandblaster so we have something to try to tack to. Now I gotta tell you right now, I cannot draw a straight line, so don't expect much. Alright, let's see if we can get that knocked out of there. We got an oval circle. Go clamp the air cleaner and then go take that to the sander and clean the edges off of it. Probably would have been a smart idea to cut that first and then decide what size circle we wanted, but we know better on the next one. Hopefully it's got ground, I don't know if it does. Where'd my circle go? There it is. Yeah, we'll go with that. Clean them both up, tack her together. I hit them with the sandblaster, or at least that with the sandblaster, and you can see it popped another hole there and another hole there. So I'm gonna go tack that in, but we're probably just gonna take some seam sealer or silicone or something, just go around the rest of it, and then we'll punch a hole in it. A lot better than the gaping hole I had, at least. Guys, get your sunglasses on? Warned you. I got the welder set on 18 gauge. Let's see how bad it blows through. See if we can get some tacks on it. It's pretty thin though. I think about center? Yeah, I can go with that. If it looks straight, it is straight, right? Well, I'm going to try buzzing it all the way around, and I'll bring you back when I'm done. Don't touch it, it's hot. It's ugly, but it's on there. All that area was fine, and then getting here, it was just kept blowing away, and you see, you know, chasing it, filling it, but it's alright. Nobody's going to see this anyway, right? Just you and me. I may throw some paint on there. Actually, I'm going to go look and see what I got for some kind of goop to goop in there. And then we'll come back and maybe throw a little bit of paint in the center. Don't want to lose a patina though, you know. Alright, so that's just going to have a long stud going right through the center of it. How about we eyeball it? What do you think? Right about there? You happy with that? A little that way you said? Okay. That puppy out. And grab onto it, it's still warm. How big is the other hole? We want that guy, the size of that guy. So we want to go that far in. There we go. So now I got to come up with some rod to go through the depth of that and thread into the bracket that's on the motor. So I'm gonna go look and see what I can dig up for that. Do we have to bang a dent out here? That look dented into you? You think that's the way it's supposed to be? Might be just the way it is. What do you think? Maybe for like a wing nut that it kind of clicks into place and it has that groove, or it got smashed? What are you voting? I'm gonna look under the microscope and get a better look. I'm thinking it's a dent. I still don't know. I think it's a dent, but won't we compromise and just knock it out some of the way? Operation. Go with that? I agree. We got that in there. Looks pretty good. And I would definitely say that was supposed to be undented. I still don't know about the little detents that are in it, but I'm going with non-dented. And I made up a piece of all thread and then just double nutted this side of it. That side of it. I just made a long bolt. So let's fire it up and see what the air cleaner does. And what I'm kind of hoping for is that it's going to richen up the mixture a little bit by having more drag on the intake. You have lean and rich. Lean, not enough fuel. Rich, too much fuel. It seems like it's a little lean when the choke is all the way off, but when you put the rest of the intake on it, it also creates more drag and wants to put it more towards the rich side. So hopefully it does. If not, we'll have to get into it a little bit more. But let's fire her up and let it warm up and see how it likes it. No choke. That's how it goes. Does not like that. I'm gonna let it warm up a minute. Well, idle's good. So that's what's kind of happening. It's still too lean. You go to rev it, it falls on its face. Shut it off so you can hear me. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go turn the choke on a little bit, and you'll notice how much it likes to rev better when the choke is on. Only problem with that is it raises the idle speed up, so it's going to be revving higher, but you'll get the idea how it responds to it. So you can hear how it doesn't quite fall on its face like it does when it has the choke completely off. But I think I'm going to leave well enough alone. It's good enough to kind of road test it. We're probably going to go into that carb again, as it flushes through the crap that's in the system. We'll put another fuel filter on it. The tank looked decent. It didn't look, it wasn't flaky, it wasn't rusty, it didn't have anything coated on the bottom of it. But, the video previous to this, when I pumped the fuel out, you kind of see the fuel was still kind of yellow. So it does have crap of some sort that is kind of washing through the system. So probably have to pull that off. I don't suspect any intake leaks. I run my fingers around it. Didn't change the idle or anything, but I think it's good enough for where it is. Worst case scenario, we'll put the Advance back to where it was, but I think we're on the right track with getting into the carburetor on it. So I'm not quite sure if where this one's going, if we're going to go stop it here, if we're going to keep going, but I may or may not. Getting towards the end of the day, I'm going to do a shopping list. I got to get a new air filter. I want to get plugs for it. I need to get the correct oil filter, a wiper blade, believe it or not, and a couple other little things. I'm going to make my shopping list, and then we'll hit it again tomorrow with getting all the goodies on it, and possibly getting into that carburetor again. I was looking to see if it had a main, you know what I mean, like an idle adjustment and then a main adjustment on the carb, but I just don't see the other one unless it is hidden somewhere that I do not see. I do not believe that is the case, and if that's the case, you can manually richen the main jet up, but I don't see it, so guess we're not going to do that, huh? And before I forget to show, That's how much it moved. There's the original mark down below, and you can see the offset that's in it. That's how much. I don't know if you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit. You see the bottom of that fuel filter. That's new. I put that on there. But you can see the crap that's in there. And that might be from that fuel pump. The rubber stuff that was kind of breaking away. Don't know. Well, it does go to show that we're sucking up some kind of crap, you know. So I'll change that. Yeah, at some point I'll put another filter on it, and probably end up taking that carburetor apart. I have a feeling the main jet is starting to suck up some junk. One last thing. So, guys are commenting on the dump trailer video that did you throw anything back on your trailer that you dumped out of the pile? And yes, I did. Purgatory gave one last item back as everything went on the ground. That was in my dump trailer, and it is a squirrel fan. I don't know how close it is to the one that is in here in that enclosure yet, but it definitely looks like it's in a better shape than the one that is on there. It has already a rotted off, broken off fin. I believe the motor's AC. Yeah, 115 volts, so the motor's no good to us. But if we can get that fan off of there, and you know, possibly same ID, same blah 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 blah, we might be able to put it on that guy. The Horde paid off one last time before it went to Horde heaven. Where do you think the seat is?
Boat,
Yeah, that's it.
60s or 70s boat, maybe.
Fenders. Tad locked up. Yeah, don't force it. Oh, it's got for a trans.
Gear-driven steering box.
It's beefy. I think he had a plow on it. That's probably what this is.
Yeah.
And then what that lever is. Get a front shot. I don't think it's anything more than we couldn't build on our own, though. Kind of looking at it. What does it offer that, you know, we couldn't? I like the rear end and the trans. That's about it.
The fact that it's just together.
Good yard art. Put Santa on it.